See, this is the AC and ventilation system design calculation training classes. Okay, and if you talk about the syllabus, we will start with introduction about air conditioning and ventilation. Okay, architectural package, then the design basis report and HVAC room data sheet, codes and standards. Then we will talk about HAP calculations, fresh air calculation, then AC equipment calculation for server room, generator ventilation system, transformer ventilation system, battery room ventilation system, then kitchen ventilation system, heater sizing, humidifier sizing, then the duct sizing, selection, everything. Okay, once you do all the calculations, then you can able to make HVAC equipment and accessories selection and schedule. Okay, so this one we will do it in multiple stages. Okay, as a consultant, you cannot do as a in one stages, you cannot make IFC package. Okay, that will come in multiple stages. Okay, so the starting will be the concept stage where you have to start with architectural package. Okay, so I will just explain the architectural package for you people to understand. Okay, so that how the space planning will be done when the client having a bare land. Okay, say for example there is a plot limit, availability plot limit, say for example irregular shape or rectangular shape or square shape, whatever the plot limit. Clear, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what is the guideline? Okay. See, this guideline is based on Dubai. Okay, but you can apply for everywhere. Okay, because this is for the human application, right? If it is a residential building or commercial building or whatever the type of building is, everything is based on human applications. Okay. So the guideline is very good in UAE regulations, but you can apply for everywhere, whole in the world. Okay, because this is all extracted from international standards. Clear, right? Okay. Now let me go to the architectural standard. If you go to one of our standard, okay, see, which we are following in UAE. Okay, so this is called building regulations and design guideline architecture. Clear, right? Okay, so this is the way architecture space planning will be done. Say for example, let me talk about one of the project. Okay, if I go to another slide. Okay, if I go to this slide, okay, see for example, there is a building owner. Okay, he want to start with one of the project. Okay, so assume that this is my land. Okay, so this land may be at any shapes. For example, this like that. This is my particular plot limit. Assume like that. Okay. Okay. Now
Okay.
he will approach the architect or building contractor. Okay. So the building contractor, what he will do based on the design, he is going to construct the project. So he have a multiple contractor, electrical contractor, mechanical contractor, structural contractor, everyone. Okay. But when you look at the other side, which is the consultant side, okay, you can see the architect who is the leader of the project. So he is going to design the project based on whatever the plot limit availability, and he is going to coordinate with the civil engineer. He is going to coordinate with the mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, commissioning, how the project can be commissioned. Okay, so they are going to have a everything discussion under the team of consultants, right? So this is what as a Sushant is a consultant. So it is also the team will be there for HVAC one team, and for plumbing separate team, for firefighting separate team, and say for example electrical ELV department and architectural department, structural department. So each and every department they will be having. So the building owner having a plot limit. Based on this plot limit, the architect he will be designing the project based on the requirement. Say for example, the he want to construct a say for example multiple high-rise building. Okay, so this high-rise building he will be constructing here in this land. So other land can be used for irrigation purpose, landscaping purpose, or maybe he can use it for parking. Uh, One person is joining now. Yeah, so he will be using it for parking. Okay, and parking the car park or bicycle, whatever it is, right? So this land,
Yeah.
external land will be used based on that. Okay, and this particular building, okay, you can see there is a residential building or high or commercial building. Okay, say for example this is the commercial building with a multi space or multi-rise for a project, maybe high rise project. Okay, so each and every space planning will be done based on the architectural guideline. Okay, so that is why we are going to follow this particular guideline. Okay, this is the building regulations and design guidelines architecture. Okay, so first, if you understand before you start with any of the HVAC project, if you understand how the space planning will be done, then it is very easy to understand the calculation part. Okay, say for example, there is when you do the space planning. Okay, it is not only for the architectural requirement, also required for the MEP requirement. Say for example, you need a lot of shafts to run your services. Okay, and for say for example HPC, you need a plant room to keep all your AHUs. Okay, and you need a attic space to run all your MEP services. Okay, say for example if you are a plumbing, you have to provide water tank locations, right? The water tank location will be near to the inlet entry from the municipality, right? For example, if it is a storm water, you have a stormwater tank, okay, and the stormwater discharge to be will be close to the authority discharge line, okay. Then you have a sewage line, then there is a sewage tank, it will be close to the discharge line. So where you have to space planning, okay, so that planning will be done based on the requirement, okay. Say for example firefighting, your firefighting pump room, water tank room for firefighting, okay. Then you have an electrical room, okay. Then you have a substation, transformer room. So all the room will be space planning, is a part of the space planning. Everything will be coordinated with all the discipline, okay. Architectural cannot come without with only single person, okay. There are multiple coordination is required so that the architectural can be developed. Clear, right? Okay. Now if you go further down, okay, if you go further down, there are some guidelines which you can able to understand how the space planning is done, okay. Say for example, if I will be sharing this information, maybe some of the people I have already shared, if not I can share it everyone, okay. See, this is the space planning. Say for example, there is one of the plot availability, okay. I have a commercial building, or I can say that I have a single bedroom or one bedroom or two bedroom, right? Then there is a corridor, okay. Then there is a lift, toilet, everything I have to do the space planning, okay. So when I do the space planning, I have to comply with the minimum requirement, okay. Say for example, if I need 10 square meter, okay, based on the guideline, because the 10 square meter is for the human comfort, okay. If I keep very smaller room like a 8 square meter, 7 square meter, maybe I may feel uncomfortable, right? So based on that standard, the architectural guideline has been developed, okay. So if you go further down, okay, say for example, this is my plot limit, okay. In the plot limit, I'm going to plan what is the entry, what is the exit, where is the main road, right? Okay, and what is the distance I have to provide, okay. Say for example, if I'm going to construct warehouse, okay, the space for the light vehicle parking and space for the heavy vehicle parking, right? And this is my plot limit, okay. Clear, right? So this is the space planning, okay. If I go down further, plot coverage area, so this is my plot coverage area. Within that, inside I'm going to construct my main building, right? Okay. And what is the height I have to maintain? See, there are minimum height to be required. Say, for example, if you are working in a residential project or commercial project, normally we used to say that 2.4 meter, 2.5 meter. You cannot go below that, okay? Because sometimes the people will be requesting to lower the fall ceiling. If you talk about MEP contractor, right? Because he has to run the service, but it is not applicable if you go less than what is given in the guideline, right? Okay, so say for example, if it is office area, should be 2.5. You have to provide, must satisfy. Okay, if it is a commercial center, you must satisfy 4.2 square meter. So this is the building which we follow in UAE. Okay, but the similar type of standards available everywhere. Okay, if you are in India, you have India architectural guideline, all right? And if you are in Saudi Arabia, you have a Saudi Arabia architectural guideline, right? Okay, so this is the way they start doing the space planning. So if you know the height of the building, if you try to fix it, so if you talk about here, right, there is a ground floor, there is a mezzanine, there is a half mezzanine, there is a ground floor, then you have a first floor, right? Then what is that? This is the minimum height you have to comply plus the space required for the attic to run your MEP services. So if you add a total, you can able to decide your building height. Clear, right? So depends upon that, you can able to say, for example, if I have a 50 floors, then 50 into 3, each and every floor, 50 into 3, 150 meter. Then say, for example, if I have attic space, okay, well, say, for example, I need 1 meter. So 50 floor, 50 meter. So 150 plus 50, my building height will be approximate 200 meter. Clear, right, everyone? So this is the way they decide the building height. Okay. And if you talk about space planning, say, for example, I have a two buildings. Okay, what is the distance I have to provide? This is all given in the guideline. You can see what is the distance you have to provide from the plot limit. What is the distance? Okay, so this particular land will be used for other purposes, landscaping or parking purpose, right? You cannot have a building close to the plot area. Okay. Okay, then there is a technical space requirement. Say, for example, I have a different spaces, right? If I go to one bedroom, I have a say, for example, I have a hall, then I will be having a kitchen area, then I have a toilets, right? So each and every space it is given here. Residential area, bedroom, how much square meter minimum you have to provide for the human being to live, 12 square meter, correct? Okay, if it is a kitchen, what is the square meter I have to provide? 6 square meter. If it is a bathroom, I have to provide 4.5 square meter. So this is the way you will start planning. Say for example, if I have one bedroom, okay, assume that I'll be having one bedroom area here. Okay, so when you say the minimum square meter, right? Say for example, this is my residential bedroom. Okay, this is my kitchen. This is my toilet, right? Okay, assume like that. This is the entrance. Okay, so when you do the space planning for each and every area, you should comply with the minimum architectural requirement. Say for example, if I have a meeting room, so what is the minimum distance I have to provide? Okay, if it is a round table, conference table, what is the minimum distance I have to provide? This is the minimum requirement. You can have a bigger, say for example, I have a different type of cupboards, whatever it is, you can have a bigger one. Okay, depends upon your space availability, but you cannot go always lesser. That is the code requirement. Okay, if you have a bedroom, so how they have designed dressing room, bedroom area. Okay, if you have a single bedroom with a cupboard or something like that, how they have designed, you can see the distance. Clear, right? Okay, if you have a toilet area, okay, if you have a single toilet with wash basin, what is the minimum requirement? If you have with the shower tray, what is the minimum requirement? Okay, if you have with the shower tray, what is the minimum requirement, right? Okay, and if you have a kitchen, how to size it, what is the minimum requirement? So that you can do each and every space planning. When you do the architectural, you have a multiple spaces. Okay, so each and every space you can able to design based on the architectural guideline. Clear, right, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, let me open one of the architectural drawing so that you can able to understand that how they have developed. Okay, and if you talk about occupancy, based on occupancy, okay, you can see that area per person. Clear, right? Okay, see, this is one of the architectural drawing. Okay, in the architectural drawing, you can see the space planning. This is the bedroom, right? And this is the toilet. You can see that this type of toilet in the guideline, right? And this type of toilets also you have seen that in the guideline, right? You cannot have a smaller toilet. Okay, the minimum size based on the wash basin, based on the WC, and based on the door dimension, you can able to size your toilet. Okay, you cannot have a smaller toilet. This is very minimum requirement. If you try to close it, what will happen? This door will try to hit here. Okay, or this particular door may try to hit wash basin. Okay, or you cannot able to accommodate your WC or wash basin. So this is the requirement. Okay, okay, so this also here you can see the requirement here. So this is based on the occupancy, how many people, how many area you have to provide. If you have an office with the 10 people, then you should have at least 93 square meter. If you have a less than that, then you cannot occupy 10 people. Okay, say for example, I have an opening requirement for window, how to size the window. Okay, you can see that particular space. Okay, what is the height you have to provide? Clear, right? If you have a window hall, what is the height you have to provide? Say if it is a pantry area, what is the minimum height for the window? Okay, what is the door location, what is the size of the door? See the door size. If it is a building, main door should be 1.2 meter, apartment main door 1 meter. So this all dimension is required for you to do the space planning. Okay, and this is the door dimension, egress path, because this is the exact clear path, right? And what is
Yeah.
the correct way of door openings? Okay, how to mount the door here? See, this is the wrong way to locate the door. This is the correct way to locate the door. Okay, you can read. Whenever you have a free time, just try to read the information. It is very user friendly, and you can able to get the information. Okay, see, for example, if you have a courtyard, what is the dimension should be? What is the main room dimension? Okay, if you have a kitchen back to back, what is the shaft clearance? Okay, so this is the way architectural. I think whoever is working with a consultant, the architectural is the first step to develop your as a package. Okay, the architectural package is the first step. Okay, so whenever the architectural he is doing it, okay, he is working on the architectural package, he will discuss with every discipline to make sure that everything is okay. Okay, clear, like the location of the equipment, duct routing, shafts. Okay, and whatever the services are, whatever is required for MEP requirement should comply with that. Okay, say for example, if you have a closed pantry, bathrooms, okay, then what is the size, shaft size? Okay, if you have a multiple floors, what is the height? What is the extension for the canopy, right? The balconies. Okay, if you have a Stepped terrace, what is the dimension you have to provide? Okay, how to give, and what is the swimming pool, what is the dimension you have to maintain? Basements, what is the basement height you have to maintain, right? You can see that basement 2.4, so 2.4 is the minimum requirement to comply with the basement. Ground floor, okay, mezzanine, rooftop, okay, and if you have a corridor, what is the distance you have to provide for the corridor? Clear, right? Okay, if you have a shopping mall, you have a kiosk area, so what is the distance you have to provide? And if you have a corridor, if you are entering into the apartment, what is the space, minimum space planning? Okay, if you have an elevator,
Okay.
what is the distance you have to provide? Correct? Okay, if you have a staircase, how to design the staircase? There is a dimension provided here everywhere. Okay, there is a fire step staircases. Then there is a ramp, how the vehicle movement inside and outside, what is the distance? Okay, for the car parking requirements. So how what is the entry, what is the dimension you have to provide for the from the road? Okay, and what is the space for each parking bay, right? So that is a 5.5 meter by 2.5 meter, that should be each car parking bay dimension to park the car. Okay, if you have a back to back, you should have a 6 meter. If you have a side parking, should have a 3 meter. Okay, if you have a 45-degree, 60-degree, then you have to provide this way. Okay, if you have a indoor garages, cycle tray, so all the dimension is provided, so you have to comply, the architectural team will comply with every requirements. Okay, if you go down, then there are different type of different type of buildings like residential area or town centers. Okay, so there are different type of building. What is the minimum requirement for the plumbing fixtures? Okay, so how many, if you have a 150, if it is a residential area near to the masjid, okay, if you have a worshippers up to 150, you have to provide at least 3 lavatory, 3 wash basin, okay, 3 ablution area. Okay, prayer room for the shoe racks. What, how you have to give the shoe racks, then ablution area. Okay, minimum area for kitchen. How much? What is the area you have to provide for the cafeteria? Okay, for supermarkets, what is the minimum area you have to provide? Or butcher, greengrocer. So depends upon the application. What is the minimum area? Okay, if it is a gas station, educational types, schools, kindergarten, nurseries, hospitals, clinics, okay, pharmacies, factory and warehouses. Okay, then the sanitation requirements. Say for example, you have to design your plumbing like bathrooms, everything. Okay, so what is the requirement? Okay, and how many fixtures you have to provide? See, for example, if you have a public sanitary facilities, educational facility, you have to provide WC, wash basin and urinal based on peoples. Up to, if you have a 10 people, then you have to provide 1 WCs, 1 wash basin, 1 urinals. Okay, see here, this is the resident commercial buildings, right? And wash basin, WC, urinals. If you have a urinal, because residential, we will not provide normally urinals. Okay, and up to 15 staff, you have to provide 1 WC wash basins. Okay, for female staff up to 15, you have to provide 1 WCs. Okay, something like that. Different type of building is already provided here. Okay, then if you have any space, swimming pool, what is the setback area? What is the swimming pool area? What is the height? Okay, what is the disposal garbage rooms requirement? So what is the size? How many garbage tray you have to provide? Okay, garbage trolleys. You can see that there is a room. How many depends upon the capacity. You have to provide the garbage trolleys, right? So based on the dimension, you will design your room size. Okay, then there is a landscaping requirement, how external distance between two cycle. If you have a cycle path, what is the distance you have to provide? If you have a car parking area, okay, if you have a tree, multiple trees, what is the distance you have to provide between the tree? Steps with a different type of steps, what is the distance? What is the height of the tree should be provided? Okay, then the utility services like water supply tanks, as I told you, if for architectural planning, space planning, you have to plan for water supply tanks, septic tanks, plumbing works, rainwater drainage, gas facilities, electrical lighting and telephone installations, ventilation and air conditioning requirement, where to install your FHUs, AHUs, everything. Okay, if there is any insulation requirement to reduce the heat which comes from the outside, you have to be able to provide the insulation for the building, where such as like car park or plant room to the residential area to reduce the heat, incoming heat to the air conditioned space. So this is the way they used to design the architectural space planning, so that the finally you can get the architectural package something like this, right? Okay, so this is the plot limit. Inside the plot limit, they have a car parking area, they have a say for example lift area, staircases, and you have a multiple rooms, toilets, right? Then you have a corridor area. Okay, clear, right? So the each and every car parking bay spaces. Okay, and the shaft requirements for MEP people require, and this is the shaft requirements. Okay, so this is the way you can able to prepare the architectural space planning. Okay, whatever the plot limit available from the client, you have to able to make the architectural space planning based on the client, based on the client plot limit availability. Okay, so that you can able to get the architectural package to proceed with the approval, so that the municipality can approve if you follow the guideline. Clear, right, everyone?